Hey, first grade friends, it's Mrs. Zimmerman, and I'm teaching the writing lesson for everybody this week. So hello to Mrs. Rupp and Miss LaBelle's kiddos too, and my kids. Friends, do you remember in the fall when we wrote some small moments stories? You might have heard us call them small moments or personal narratives. They are stories that are true blue and actually have happened to you in your life. So one of your activities this week is to think of a small moment or a personal narrative that has happened to you in the last couple of weeks and write about it. So let's go to our chart here. And this is our helpful chart. You might remember it from class, small moment, personal narratives. So when we start our small moment, we want to introduce the reader to what is happening, what kind of day it was, who's in the story, and where it takes place. So number 1 and number 2, you're going to start your story with, it was a sunny day, it was a rainy day, it was my birthday. Any start that you have, any lead that tells the reader what was happening is a great lead. And then you can tell where you were and who is in the story. After you've got those two parts, the beginning of your story ready, then you get to the middle of your story where the action happens, where the stuff happens. So here's some connector words that you can use for the action or the middle stuff. You can say, first this happened, then, next. And that's where you get to tie in the juicy details about what's happening in your small moment or personal narrative. And then, boys and girls, after you've done the beginning, the middle, then we wrap it up with an ending. And I just put this one up here, I hope. So you can end your story with, I hope this happens again. Or you can say something like, I hope we have fun again someday. Or some kind of ending with feeling to wrap up your story. And those of you that were writing small moments, you might remember our story hand for planning. So who is in the story is the beginning, where it happens, it was and then you get to the middle stuff, and then you wrap up the story with some feeling, and you wrap it up and you end it. So let's take a look at that anchor chart again. And now, boys and girls, I want to show you a story that I wrote using this anchor chart. And remember, it's a true blue story. It actually happened to me. So I'm just going to take a second and hang it up here so that you guys can see it. Let me put this down. Sorry, kiddos. Okay, thanks for waiting. All right, so here is my story about Nolan and I. And it actually happened yesterday because it was so rainy. We went splashing in some puddles with our bikes. So I started with, it was a rainy, chilly day. Nolan and I were outside on the road looking for big puddles. So writers, did you see how I started with, it was a blank and where and who was in the story? It was a rainy, chilly day. We were outside. Nolan and I were looking for puddles. So there's my beginning. That's my beginning piece. First, we got on our bikes and went down the driveway. Then we turned the corner and we saw a huge puddle. Next, we sped right through the puddle. Water splashed up everywhere. So there is my middle piece. There's where the action happened. We turned the corner, we saw a huge puddle, and we rode through it and water splashed everywhere. So now I get to wrap it up with my ending. I get to add some feeling and I hope. So let me show you how I wrapped it up. Our clothes were soaked, but we didn't care. I hope we can find more puddles. And there's my picture of Nolan and I. Whee! And there's him going splash through the puddle. So awesome. So friends, remember to use that anchor chart to do a beginning, middle stuff, and wrap it up with some feeling in the end. All right, writers, I can't wait to see your personal narratives and small moments. And I know Miss LaBelle and Mrs. Rupp can't wait to see them also. Have a great time writing. Bye.